Okay. Um, Hello, you guys. My name is Andrea Forsyth. I am Janet's special education teacher. Unfortunately, Janet and Janet's foster mom are unable to be in the meeting today. Janet's foster mom declined to come to the meeting, but did state that she would like to come to the next one. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, I am Arri Owens. I'll be playing the role of Principal Terry Jones, the LEA administrator.
And I am Chase Wilson. I'll be playing the role of Mr. Alexander, Janet's general education teacher.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get started since we will be the only ones in the meeting. I'm going to share the IEP that I've been working on with you guys so that we can all review it as the meeting goes on. Okay. So Janet was born February 1st, 2005. According, to all the information we've been given, this is going to be a 2017-2018 school year, 5th to 6th grade IEP. This IEP is for Janet. She's previously had one. We're kind of going to be writing a new one to get her foster mom acquainted with where she's at in the special education process and to help her understand what we can do for Janet throughout the school year to help her improve academically. So we'll come back to this extended school year services at the top, kind of near the end, but we'll start with the strengths of the student. So right now, Janet is 12 years old and in the 5th grade here at Best Schools Elementary. Teachers report that she is sweet with no behavior problems. They also report that she interacts with class animals well, making eye contact with the 2 classroom pets, a turtle and a guinea pig. She reads out loud to the reading dog that visits the classroom twice a week in the reading corral within the classroom. Mr. Alexander, have you noticed anything else about Janet that you would like to add, or do you think that covers it?
Yeah, she's just real sweet girl. She tries real hard in class and everything. And she's just a joy to have in class.
Awesome. So like I previously said, Janet's foster mother is concerned about being in all IEP meetings concerning Janet in the future and does want to be fully involved to help make sure Janet's improving in reading. She mentioned that she wants to be involved in any meeting regarding Janet, not just ones regarding special education services. As far as Janet's preferences and interests, she really enjoys looking through fashion magazines and Girls Life magazine. She enjoys art and draws pictures of clothes and shoes. And teachers report that Janet is always singing on the playground, particularly songs by Jennifer Lopez and Taylor Swift, and she's a very talented singer. Maybe we could get her hooked up with a choir program. So, the results of the most recent evaluations, according to the Woodcock-Johnson Mastery Test of Reading Data, Janet shows a deficit in reading comprehension. She displayed a 1.2 grade level in word identification, 1.4 grade level in word attack, 1.8 grade level in overall word comprehension. So, in antonyms, she was actually 2nd grade, as well as for synonyms. And then for analogy, she was still at that 1st grade level. She also shows a 1st grade level in passage comprehension, making her overall grade reading level like upper 1st grade 1.7. She had no deficits in behavior or adaptive behavior. So basically, Janet is qualifying for special education services through a learning disability in the area of reading comprehension. She shows a difficulty with decoding words, blends, and frequently used sight words, and shows reading and writing skills at the 1st grade level. It was reported that at times she does need guidance on appropriate behavior to interact with all members of a group when completing group work. When her answers are challenged by group members, she has a tendency to shut down. Janet is also reported to struggle with making eye contact with both peers and adults. I definitely think that that's something important that we're going to need to work on since she'll be going to middle school next year. Do you have any input on that, admin?
Yeah, she will definitely need some speech services, just so she can kind of enhance her social skills. That'll probably give her a best chance at a healthy experience in middle school.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. What do you think, Mr. Alexander?
Yeah, that sounds good to me because I do notice that, sometimes she struggles making friends and getting along or, playing with each other and everything like that as far as making eye contact and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think it would definitely be great if we introduce the idea of potentially um, having Janet tested for speech therapy services to her foster mom. And again, Janet's caseworker also would like to be included in meetings regarding Janet. So maybe we could bring that up to her as well. And then moving on. So any special instructional factors, I did not mark that she had any at this moment in time. One concern was this limited English proficiency. Um, she grew up in a house where her grandmother spoke mainly Spanish, I believe. Um, However, you know, teachers have reported that she, talks to the class pets, does converse with her peers some. Do y'all have any concerns about her English proficiency overall or just like her deficiency in it? Does that make sense?
Well, I think right now we have to answer the question of what her native language is. But that can be whenever we can get her mother or her foster mother, I'm sorry. Whenever we can get foster mom in the meeting with us, we can possibly take a few inquiries at that, have a few questions with that. So we'll just have to wait for the next time foster mom can be in attendance of this meeting. Sorry.
Perfect. All right. And then she does not have any transition services right now just because she's not old enough. So that was a no as well. And then transportation. So from what I understand, she lives super, super close to the school. I marked that as a car rider or a walker. Does that sound right to y'all?
Yeah, it sounds good. I would possibly, probably next year, I'd probably put her on the regular bus just because she's probably going to a, a farther school from where she stays. I think she stays probably about a block away from where we are.
Mhm.
So, the middle school is kind of farther, but we could probably possibly look into the regular bus maybe next year. But as of right now, that looks good to me.
All right, perfect. And she does not require transportation as a related service. And she will have the opportunity to participate in non academic and extracurricular activities with her non disabled peers. Um, we are sending out annual progress reports every 9 weeks. Um, and then again, we're kind of skimming over this transition stuff that will be focused on once she turns 14. We'll start addressing transition needs. And that kind of leads me to our next section, that academic annual goals. So for Janet's IEP, I've created 2 goals kind of regarding reading comprehension. One focuses on word comprehension and identification, and the other focuses on just reading comprehension. And I did this because in her eligibility report and her testing report, it said that she kind of struggled with, let me pull it back up. She struggles with, I just want to get the exact wording right, word identification, word comprehension, such as like antonyms, synonyms, analogies, and then word attack, which is like throwing different words at you and understanding what they mean. So I did that as one, word identification, and then just reading comprehension, and passage comprehension. So according to the Woodcock-Johnson Mastery Test of Reading Data, Janet shows deficiencies in the areas of word identification and word comprehension. Despite being in 5th grade, Janet displayed a 1st grade reading level in both categories. Her deficits in word identification and comprehension can impact her ability to be successful in grade level reading comprehension standards and cause the need for specialized instruction from the Exceptional Education Department in a small group setting. So, due to these deficiencies, we've come up with this goal. Mr. Alexander, would you like to read that for us?
Sure. So, like she said, due to those present level of academic achievement, we've come up with this goal that by November of 2018, Janet will be able to determine or clarify the meaning of unknown and multiple meaning words and phrases based on grade 5 reading and content by consulting reference materials such as dictionaries, glossaries, thesauruses, and both print and digital to find the pronunciation and determine or clarify the precise meaning of keywords and phrases with 80% accuracy 4 out of 5 times within the regular and special education classroom setting when asked by a regular or special education teacher as measured by teacher observation and data collection.
Right. So basically, when given a word, she'll be able to look it up and state back the meaning to us. And we'll do that kind of throughout the year, randomly, teacher observed, and we'll collect some data on that. The reading comprehension one. So Janet, all according to the same Woodcock-Johnson Mastery Test of Reading data, she shows a deficiency in passage comprehension with an overall reading level in the upper first grade range. Having a reading level below current grade level can impact Janet's ability to read grade level or advanced texts, her ability to have discussions with her peers about texts, and her ability to accurately complete classwork, and homework. These deficiencies can cause the need for specialized instruction from the Exceptional Education Department in a small group setting. Mr. Alexander, care to read this measurable goal for us as well?
Sure. Again, by November 2018, Janet will be able to use combined knowledge of all letter sound correspondences, syllabication patterns, and morphology, such as roots and affixes, to read accurately unfamiliar multisyllabic words in context and out of context with 80% accuracy 4 out of 5 times in the regular and special education classroom setting, as measured by data collection from an informal reading inventory done twice yearly.
So basically, once in the fall and once in the spring, I'll do an informal reading inventory, which will assess Janet's ability to read a passage, comprehend what it said, and kind of mark any, pronunciation, spelling, or not spelling, like speech errors that she may have in that time. How do those goals sound to you guys?
They sound attainable, and I believe she'll be able to achieve this within the school year.
And I was really hoping that y'all would say that because, it is a huge concern, her being on a first grade reading level and in the fifth grade moving into the sixth grade. But I think if we work really hard to help her reach these goals and kind of at least stay on track with them and be consistent, that she'll be able to move up to, maybe upper second grade or third grade. We can do what we can. We're realistically, like, she may not get to fifth grade this year, but we can, help her get a couple steps up for sure.
Definitely.
Okay. And then, so for special education and related services. So for special education, Janet will participate in the general curriculum with support from the exceptional education personnel in an inclusion and or small group resource environment to target word comprehension and identification skills. And she'll also participate in the general curriculum with support from the ex-ed personnel in an inclusion or small group environment for reading comprehension skills. And she'll receive help with both of those things for 40 minutes weekly each. And that can happen in the regular classroom in like an inclusion environment or pulled into the resource room. So that's going to be 80 minutes total per week. She does not need any related services at this time. Again, if we look into the speech therapy idea further, we can come back and amend that. However, for now, no related services. All right. For supplementary aids and services, that's just services, she's going to receive on the daily in the classroom. So teachers will frequently check for understanding. They will repeat or clarify directions to ensure comprehension. Audio versions of reading material will be provided when available. Mr. Alexander, do you think that that's attainable?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. And then a peer helper can be provided in a general education classroom setting. Do you think that, or do you both believe that we can provide a peer helper, just like a peer to kind of maybe sit by Janet?
Yeah, we probably have to shoot for the top of the class, somebody with some good behavior. They show consistent good behavior and and they're good with their grades as well.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a role model type deal for
Yes, and I was thinking maybe somebody a little social that
right.
would be sure to speak to her and like really try and keep her involved in whatever was going on in the room.
All right.
And then
Agreed.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry about that. I was just saying I agree.
Okay, perfect. And then extended time on assignments, not to exceed time and a half. I chose time and a half because when Janet starts taking standardized tests, that is the most she would get with accommodations, or she would most likely get time and a half with accommodations on standardized testing.
Okay.
Because she is not on an alternate achievement pathway, she does not need any program modifications at this time. However, she will need accommodations for assessments, and this is going to apply to standardized testing as well as, testing within the classroom.
All right.
So the opportunity to have tests read aloud, opportunity for small group testing in an area free from distraction, extended testing time, again, not to exceed time and a half, and then provide a study guide 2 days prior to the test. If the study guide is question only, the gen ed teacher must check for accuracy or provide the student with the answers. An information or fact sheet may also be given. So that's just to ensure her success and that she fully understands the material before taking a test. Do y'all agree with those accommodations, or would you like me to change anything?
Nothing needs to be changed. I think those accommodations fit Janet's needs appropriately.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Um, she does not need assistive technology, we do not need support for personnel at this time. All right. So now we get to the least restrictive environment. So does this student attend the school that she would attend if non-disabled? Yes, she lives like 2 blocks away. She is zoned for this school. So does this student receive all special education services with non-disabled peers? I marked no, only because the student will receive the opportunity for specialized small group instruction in the resource room away from non-disabled peers. Y'all agree with that statement?
Yes, as long as it's
Yep.
dealing with her special education services. Yes, you're right. Yep.
Yes. Okay, and she is 12, so I marked 6 to 21 years of age. And then finally, for least restrictive environment, right now, I'm thinking it'd be a 1, so 80 to 100% of the day inside the general education environment, in the inclusion classroom or like resource room setting. Does the IEP team agree?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think Janet can be very successful in the general education classroom, if given the right opportunities and resources to do so. And I will not be giving a copy of the IEP and the special education rights to the parent at this meeting, but I will be sure to send one home with Janet tomorrow or mail one home today. I'm going to call her foster mom and ask her which she would prefer. So I suppose this wraps up our meeting. If we can all just, all of us would be the ones to sign on the signature page. If her mom was here, or if her foster mom was here, she would be signing. And then if her caseworker was here, she would not be able to sign, but she would still be able to participate, just so you guys know. But yeah. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns before I end the meeting?
There are no questions from admin side. We are good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good here too.
All right.